Hello, everybody. Hello. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Come on in. How was your Thanksgiving? I hope it was good. I hope it was blessed. There I are. How is everybody doing? Hope your holiday was great. Um, a big life size cutout of Donald Trump showed up at mine. It was very funny. We're waiting for Miss Tracy. She should be with us any moment. But in the interim, did everybody have a good Thanksgiving? Lots of turkey, lots of stuffing, lots and lots and lots. Just giving you guys some time to get in. And very blessed, wonderful, good to hear. Very good. Very, very good. Okay. Have the house to yourself. That's always a blessing, just Robin. Really. Totally, totally. Okay. Let's good evening, Susan. Let's bring on Michael. It was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool thing to walk in on. But let's bring in Miss Tracy.
Hello.
Hello, madam. How
How
are
are you?
you? Good, good, very good.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I got a cup of coffee and I'm ready.
Right here, girl. Right here.
I
Cat
know
mom.
me too.
um,
Mhm.
oh man, where'd she go?
I'm right here. I'm not the phone over. I'm that bull in the china shop.
That's okay. So, let me get rid of Facebook, or it's just going to buzz in my head all night. All right, here we
Yeah.
go. So, I was just asking everybody how their Thanksgiving went, and praise God, everybody had a good Thanksgiving, beautiful
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, blessed Thanksgiving. So it's all good. And I figured we'd start off this evening because I'm sure it's on everybody's mind. Um,
Yeah.
John Paul Miller choosing a new location for his fake church.
Right.
We'll get that one out of the way, that laughable
Rat
subject out
hole.
of the way. At Rat Hole, was that the name of the bar?
No, that was Crocodile Rock, right?
No, no, but
No,
the
the
bar
rat hole. Yeah, the rat hole is a bar. That's right. I
right
mean,
next
can you?
door.
Yeah. Let's go have a drink at the rat hole.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Somebody put up on well, Crocodile Rocks is what he used to own. That portion of his ownership,
Yeah.
Jennifer, has been given over to his son. From what I last heard,
Yeah, supposedly, yeah.
it's a biker bar. Is so we're talking about Rat Hole is biker bar.
Yeah,
Okay,
oh, I used to go to biker bars. I loved them.
back in the day, yeah, we all
Yeah, back in the day.
drinks before listening to
Hmm.
JP, right? Yeah, right on. Um, but there's something else that's over there too. It's not just that bar. There was something like some glass tech.
Yeah, and some kind of a horse something.
Yeah. I know there were some people that tried to make a connection, and there is a small connection that was found on Facebook Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm going off on Dee Dee Collins. Forgive me. I think people were trying to find a connection between the owners of Rat Hole and whatnot with John Paul Miller. I don't think anything's been found. But I just did a really bad segue to the next thing, which was Dee Dee Collins, the woman that was found
Yeah.
unalived the day, November 1st, actually, the day that John Paul was raided. And sound system? What sound system are we talking about, Susan? Are you talking about at Rat Hole? I'm sure it's fabulous. Um,
Probably really squilly.
um, anyway, I guess the brother-in-law of this girl, Dee Dee, is an insurance agent of some sort and has some sort of Facebook friendship connection to Mr. Reggie. Um, during the summer protest, he called in a report. He was scared. That was okay. So thank you for bringing that up, Jill. That was TCR on July 7th. She was the one that was calling to do a wellness check on JP because she said something about bikers were going to do something to him, and
Yeah.
it was a very handy phone call because that was the call that was used um, to kind of compare next to the April 27th call, which we found to be uh, very,
Sus.
yeah, very sounded just like it. Let's just put it that way. Sounded just like the same
Mm-hmm.
person. So
Mm-hmm.
feds have it. That's what's more important. Anyhow, the connection between that Dee Dee chick and Solid Rock is really very slim. So we're just going to leave that alone. No sense of going into that. I really believe, and Tracy and I spoke about this earlier, that Mica's case is pretty much solved. Like, there's really not more to look
Yeah.
into. The next phase is arrest. And that's what we need to look for. It's not over, it's just moving on to a new phase, which will be his arrest. His arrest, and I believe
And
the flying monkeys. Well, there'll
yeah,
be flying monkeys going along with him.
we'll
Then
be
we'll,
counting them.
yeah, and we'll be sitting in on the court uh,
Perp
case,
walk.
perp walk, court case, the whole thing. Yeah, we will
Mm-hmm.
definitely be sitting in on that. So no worries there. Um, okay, so I don't think we have anything more to. Well, we actually, I'm sorry. We were going to talk about principalities, weren't we? We were going to
Yes.
talk about that. Okay. Did you want to touch on that, Tracy, about principalities? Because we were going to talk about Myrtle Beach in South Carolina and what Mica was up against.
Well, I can start on it. Yes.
Please.
I'm sure that most people, I would assume, I hope that most people in here are familiar with um, dark spirits or witchcraft. And, that's satanic, of course. And there are principalities, that we deal with. It's called a spiritual warfare. And it's very prominent, heavy in that area.
Hmm.
And it's proven to be. And I mean, there's different principalities, and that's just one of them. There's many more. And history proves that it's prominent in the area.
Hmm.
And, we can dive into that at a different time. But right now, that's the equivalent of, there's a different principality over another part of other states, maybe LGBTQ or,
Hmm.
a different agenda. But the witches they're given assignments, and that's what they do. They hover over a different quadrant or location, and they cast out and they hover over that area, and
Hmm.
I guess you'd say they pray, they do their witchery over that particular area.
Hmm.
And this goes back to, I mean, over in Asheville and that area too. It's got a long history of
Yeah.
satanic worship
Mhm.
rituals and that kind of.
The occult.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely yes. The Bohemian Grove,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, the Vanderbilt. If nobody's familiar with, that's Gloria Vanderbilt, and
Hmm.
um, her son is Anderson Cooper on the
Hmm.
news.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
They
look at the
own the
test.
Biltmore, or is that
Yes,
Stephen?
the
Right, and that's the
Biltmore.
North
That's
Carolinas, right?
yes, over in Asheville. And that's, some people are not, they may not be familiar with human hunting. So,
Hmm. Yeah.
and that was there
Yeah.
on the Biltmore Estates, and they have tunnels
Yes.
and a lot of them there, and their underground area there at the Biltmore Estates had the same rooms as we'll be getting into on Rumble, where
Right.
they had the little types.
Yes. Yes.
So there's a lot of that evil there, and that's why all these people are stacking up that are unalived, and that's that spirit there.
Yeah.
So and
Yeah.
we're praying against that really, really hard.
As a matter of fact, you just mentioned that this morning. I think it was reported that the CEO of
Hmm.
uh, what's the name of that insurance company, United Healthcare,
Yes,
was unalived.
unalived.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And
Early this
yeah, like
morning. Yes.
it was about 7 a.m. or something like that. Was it
Yeah,
outside the
I mean, he
building?
was going out for coffee or whatever. Yes, and just
Yeah,
randomly, not, you
there's
know.
going to be a lot of that coming up.
Oh
Uh,
yes.
all
Hmm.
kinds of people showing up in that condition.
Well,
So
he was coming out with the truth about some
was
things.
he? Was
Yes.
okay. Well, then there you go. Then we
Hmm.
know.
Hmm.
Um, so let me share this with everyone. So what Tracy is talking about is the Rumble page that we are going to be on, starting next week. Now we're going to try to make it so that we can be here and on Rumble at the same time. But there's going to be a point where we're going to start talking about things that cannot be talked about here on the YT. So we'll be, saying, okay, everybody meet us over at Rumble. So if you can, make sure you take down the name of the magazine page there. Join us there, and we will absolutely beforehand let you know. It'll be seven, same time, same day, same bat channel. Everything will be the same, and I'll keep it up for a while so that you guys can see it and save it and whatnot. Because you know, it's funny because Mica's story goes hand in hand with what we're about to cover.
Yeah.
She was up against a lot more than a wackadoo.
JP.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, if that would have just been JP and it was just some crazy nut job husband, we probably would have been able to solve this in May, you know. But there's all these people that congregated online to harass and cause trouble. There's a reason why there was this organized stalking, organized harassment, people getting
Hmm.
threats, death
Hmm.
threats, um, because this is how this, you could call them cabal, you can call them elites, you could just call them whatever you want to call them. This is how they operate. Um, I would think that John Paul is kind of the guy on the totem pole of what Tracy's talking about, but they're still out there.
Yeah. He has to answer to the The ones higher up, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I'll leave that up there. It is very deep, but it's about to come forward. And again, that's what I talked to Tracy about this afternoon. Um, I'll give you an example of one of the things that's about to come up, but I got to talk code. So, you know, that fabulous round Italian snack that everybody likes with sauce and cheese on it. Sometimes you cut it up in slices. If you're from New York,
Sometimes you can have pepperoni.
pepperoni.
Mhm.
And you take that word and then you put it with gate. And that's about to go mainstream. Um,
Mm.
that's what we're going to share with you with alongside so many other things that is about to come forward. The tunnels she just mentioned, the tunnels. Um, there's
Yeah, it's
so much
bad.
to cover, so much
Yeah.
to cover with that. There's High Priestess of Hollywood that we're going to talk about. And I don't even know if they're still around, if they've been, but
Well,
I've heard very little from Marina. Uh,
no, I haven't either, but there's a lady on YouTube. She had a program out. It's funny that, all this is coming up because I just watched this. But yeah, she is one bizarre, talented artist. Yeah, we'll put it that way.
we're talking about Marina now, right?
Yeah. That's
Are you
art.
are you being sarcastic? I'm assuming.
Yeah, of course, yes. I'm
Oh,
being very
okay.
sarcastic. I don't know what kind of
Yes,
art she
Lisa.
was thinking. Yeah, but yeah, I haven't heard of her being out here because I think she's at the spa. You know what I'm talking about? Get my spa.
Right. Yeah. She's getting in my bath. Um, and there's the other woman too, very skinny, really bad teeth, from
I
Hollywood.
don't know her name, but she's like she needs a lot of dental work and she needs to see a chiropractor and maybe get her hair done. I don't know. She's bad. And her husband is really high up in the occult world.
The underworld, Michael, is all over,
Yes,
but you
we
will
call it
find
the
it.
underbelly. The
Yeah,
underbelly.
you will find it more prevalent in places that have tourism. Much
Hmm.
the Fort Lauderdale, Myrtle Beach, Orlando, Los Angeles, New York. You know, these are places that have.
And
Uh,
it's just bad. I mean, people they don't understand it and how it works. And I mean, you can walk right by them and they're just so nice. And this is what's wrong. I mean, this is how it's been, and it's just it when you find out how vile they are, it makes you sick,
yeah,
sick.
and it affects our churches. It has affected our
Absolutely,
churches. Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
and if you don't think it has, you're fooling yourself. This is why we have wolves the way they are in the churches. And you look at somebody like John Paul who could stand there on the altar, and he's just one of many. He's just one of many. He's not alone. Where he could say, "Hey, if I were to off somebody, would you still follow
Hmm.
me?" And there's
Yeah.
like, people sitting in the congregation laughing and giggling and clapping, and it's like,
Well,
wow.
any pastor that sets up a meeting for the men in his congregation to bring or and provides computers for them to watch corn, there's a problem.
Yeah, the code words are really annoying.
I know corn, and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Yes, it's bad. I mean, you just have no idea what some of these people do, and it's horrific. And it's gonna make you sick. You're not gonna want to believe it, and you're not gonna believe the names that are in it. But unfortunately, it's they're gonna have to learn and be ready to accept it when it comes out because it's coming.
Why do you think this girl went to Mexico, the Miss Hannah? I'm sorry, Mary, I have no idea.
I believe that now I know about the Hannah situation.
Tracy's got it.
I believe that she may be involved with. Well, apparently she wasn't taken. She went on her own, and I think she's involved with somebody that's up to maybe no good because, as you know, her was it her stepfather unalived himself because he was so overcome with grief that they couldn't find her. And then I'm even questioning that at this point. I would like to know. I just have a hard time believing that's really what happened to him. You know, at this
This is
point,
the one that was found at the airport, right? He was also unalive, found at the LA airport. Okay. Okay.
hmm don't you find that a little mysterious? I mean,
Well, yeah. And I think it's we're so desensitized, and that was the whole point of why you know uh yeah.
well, it might be her real father. I'm just saying, it's so it it doesn't sound right to me.
It was a
If he
biological.
was really looking for his daughter, I don't think he would do that to himself, holding out hope to find her.
Yeah, yeah, it doesn't make sense. And that's the whole thing is
Mm-mm.
that entertainment has desensitized us to where we've gotten so used to getting reports of people
Yeah,
being gone that we don't put the dots together and go,
mm.
this doesn't
We
make
don't
any
start
sense.
thinking about why would that happen and why would they take themselves out when they know that they're trying to find their loved one, and if there's a possibility, why would they not want to be there? You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I just don't see that. I don't understand that.
I don't know much about the story, but what I do know that is very strange, Mary. So you're right
Hmm
to ask that.
Yeah.
And that's just one of
hmm
many. The other thing I noticed that's also coming that's actually the past couple of hours just kind of showed up on my feed out of the blue. Um, that's looking to resurface with truth is September
Yeah.
2001. What happened in Manhattan 23 years ago.
hmm
Um, and that should be very interesting also. So that's
They're gonna come out with that unredacted report and let everybody know what really.
what really happened, who was behind it,
Hmm
why it happened, why did Building 7 go down when it didn't even get hit?
Yeah, and they reported it before it happened. Did you see that?
Yeah, yes, yes, I remember that. But see, people don't remember because they see
hmm
what's going on in the TV and they get so caught up with that it's like
Yeah,
they
and
forget.
that Flight 93, and they were showing the area that it crashed or whatever.
Hmm.
There was nothing there but a hole.
Yeah, yeah, not a
So
piece, not a part.
no, didn't even see a wing or nothing.
Yeah, that happened to a Sunjet in Fort Lauderdale years ago, where it went into the Everglades and it just went right into the Everglades. Nothing, gone. That you're talking about an airplane that's going really fast. You're gonna have a wing or some part.
A piece of something somewhere.
So the 9 and the 1 and the 1. Well, what can we say that we got to talk in code, unfortunately. So bear with us. What's the truth
We
about?
our own people. The well, I think um the freedom was about to come for the Nasar Jasara, you
Yes.
know,
Yeah.
and also that's when a bunch of money was missing at the Pentagon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they
so
and they said that in a news report like the night before.
right. So they had to take care of that.
Hmm.
And the man who had the insurance on those buildings,
Yes,
um,
Silverstein. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the same man that had the insurance on that bridge at Baltimore that the birds crashed into.
No kidding. The one with the boat.
Yeah, I know. What a coincidence. I know, right?
That's amazing.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. Those buildings. I don't know how they went down like that, but no. Our own people. They just.
yeah. There was also
Hmm.
gold missing from Building 7. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Missing
There was a
gold.
lot missing.
Hmm. Yeah. If you
I just.
remember,
What's amazing is when it all happened. There was paper that didn't actually catch on fire.
the passports beautifully fell to the
Yeah.
ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. Tons
But
and
it
tons of
melted.
steel fell and broke
Yeah,
and
I
burned.
know. Yeah, I know.
Passports were in perfect
I
condition.
mean,
Yeah.
from a paper plane flying into it,
There
it's
you go,
not
Michael.
the science doesn't match.
There it goes. Here's Michael. He's explaining it. There you go. Yep.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. And that was
So,
just one of
and
many interesting things.
and they do not care how many people are unalive. They don't.
Oh
They do
no.
not care about that. They don't
No,
because
that's a plus.
we're cattle, sheep, slaves.
No, useless eaters. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
As soon as that
Well,
birth certificate's signed.
yeah, that's what they think anyway. But
Hmm. Hmm.
so um now I don't know. I think that the trafficking thing is going to be what's dealt with first because all the other stuff was kind of done as a how to explain it. They wouldn't have been, yes, our government, yes. They wouldn't have been able to do that if they didn't have the power and the influence and the money of the trafficking that's been going on. The lucrativeness.
Yeah, and we can't forget the harvesting.
Oh, God.
Mm,
So how do you
yeah,
code that one?
and
Um,
you just,
collecting organs. Yeah.
and that's why you have all the clinics as well.
Yeah, really? Are we
Oh
talking
yeah,
about the
uh,
get rid of the
yeah,
child and clinic?
yeah, that and
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and they'll just, you know, that's why they want you to be the donors on your license as well.
Yes, that's right. That's
Hmm.
right. China's really huge with that.
Well, I mean, they snatch people off the street and do it.
Thank you for bringing this up, Allie. So, this is the point that we're trying to bring up. This is in the Bible.
Hmm.
This has been going on for a very long time. You're fooling yourself if you tell yourself that in this civilization
Yeah.
they don't do that. They have been doing that all along.
Yes.
But they were able to disguise themselves or hide or veil themselves behind, well, entertainment. They refer to it as Operation Mockingbird. It's most people, they see something on television and they go, oh, okay, I believe it because it's been on television.
Well, it's
Yeah.
repeated and repeated and repeated.
Right.
It's like, they put them in a room and it's just like, just pounded into your brain.
Yeah, right. And that's a plan. That was
Yeah,
a plan.
it's by design.
Right, right. So now it's all being uh, taken apart. It's been taken apart over the
Hmm.
past what 7 years, 6 years, 7 years.
Yeah, and I've been wanting to fill it out for so long, but you're so censored you can't.
And right now we are, but there are places that we're open to talk, which is Rumble. And before we end the show, I'll make sure that I put that up again. Um,
I know creators um that have had platforms. I mean, and they're gone. They have been unalived for speaking
ah,
truth.
yes, right. There was a
Mm.
girl. Are you talking about that woman that
Oh yeah, that one absolutely. And then there was a doctor. She was she was in a plane crash. They thought it was gonna take her, but she lived.
I
And
remember that.
they poisoned a whole group of people that were at like a event like Clay Clark.
Really?
It was just a different venue. Yeah, they all got very sick. Um,
Was it a Reawakening America one? Or was it something
um,
different?
it was something similar. The I don't know, Mike Adams was talking about it. Dr. Artis, and there were
Yeah.
several. I mean, there was quite a few, but they were sprayed with something.
The lady was Caitlin. No, what was her name? Catherine? Oh,
You talking about the Fall of the Cabal series?
no, no, not the Dutch lady. No, her also. There was not Patriot Soapbox. She was kind of Asian looking, Hawaiian maybe. She was in California. Allegedly got CV.
Yes. Uh,
Caitlin, Catherine. There's a case.
yes. They tried to get in there and get her out.
Yeah, they got rid of her too.
Yeah, they did
Yeah.
it. But Scott McKay and them tried to go
Right.
get her, and it's too
Yeah.
late.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, there have been people who have lost. They've been unalived because they were trying to tell the truth amongst the people that me and Tracy have been watching for years. But that's all done. This is why they knew when DJT came back, it was not going to be good for them. They knew it was over, and it pretty much is. Um, so why don't we see it happening? Well, we do see it happening. It is happening, uh, but it's not happening at full. Help me,
Throttle.
Tracy. Yeah, full throttle. Thank
It's
you.
not full. Well, the
Yeah.
thing is that a lot of it has taken place
Yeah.
already,
Right.
and we're watching it in slow time because you've
Hmm.
got to let the people absorb the information
Yeah.
and wake up. Because if you pour it out there like a rushing flood of water, I mean, you're going to have more of a mental health crisis than you already do.
I think though that they're ready for the truth. Truth.
Well, I know we are,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's
Took
coming.
a
It's
while.
coming pretty soon. I really feel like we might get a really good Christmas present, but right after January, the real party, uh, we're gonna get we're gonna we're gonna just do the dang thing, okay? You're froze. Are you there? What's up?
Here we are. Devil's a liar.
Yes, and we have all been struggling. A lot of people already knew that there was something really wrong on this earth. And, when you have that intuition or that discernment,
Hmm.
it is like, you can't, like now, I can't really, I don't have a lot of conversation with people that I can't really talk to them about just normal things because I'm on a different wavelength or something. I can't explain it.
Hmm.
It's like, well, I mean, yeah, the sun's pretty, it's a pretty day.
Hmm.
But I mean, I want to talk to him about, well, you heard about what Allie Carter's talking about, right? That's real.
Ooh. Yeah. 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 She's on YouTube.
Because,
I've seen her a couple of times doing her interviews. Her and right, what's her name?
I've watched several of them, and it's just,
The other one who really gave away Diddy. Jaguar. Jaguar Wright.
yeah.
Yeah. Now
She,
she was on Crokin. I just saw her this morning on Liz Crokin's show on Rumble. I was kind of surprised but happy to see that Liz was interviewing her. Jaguar Wright. Yep.
and she
Hmm.
spills the tea.
Yeah. Yeah. She's probably been waiting a long time, just like me and Tracy, to. Well, she's been through
Well,
hell.
yeah, a lot of your comedians try to tell us the truth,
Yeah.
and Michael Jackson came out and tried to warn us,
Hmm.
and then Prince did as well.
Hmm.
You know, and Prince was very wise. I mean, if you go back and listen to him in interviews, he talked about the Matrix and
Hmm.
don't let them keep you in it, and you got to step outside of it, and you know, there's so many things when you go back and listen to it now. Now you know what they were talking about.
Yeah. 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 The lead singer of Linkin Park and Soundgarden were also putting together a documentary, and it was about Chris Cornell. Thank you. And Chris Cornell was working with Chester Bennington, and they also were unalived for doing a documentary about trafficking, Hollywood related. Hollywood's a real problem. Holly weird, actually.
Where
Um,
they all, well, almost like 98%,
mhm.
they're Satanists.
Yeah, into witchcraft. They actually have um, witches in studios. And so, like, a band will go and make a song or make an album or whatever, and then these witches they'll put it in some room, and they'll all kind of get around the album or CD or whatever you want to call it. And it's Kate Spade as well. That's right. And
Oh yeah, she's bad.
they'll put spells on the music
Mm-hmm.
so that when it goes out, whoever listens to it will be under the spell. Yeah, there's a. Do I think? I'm going to give Tracy this one.
Oh boy.
I wouldn't be surprised at MJ.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, I personally, yes, I do. I do. I want to believe it. I've seen Dave interviewed, and if you listen to him, that's MJ. Okay, and then I guess with Elvis, there's Preacher Bob, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Bob Joyce.
yeah.
Um, I mean, I just watched a documentary on that the other night, and everybody has their own opinions, but I know that there's quite a few that are still here, and they took their way out to live a normal life and a lot of them had to get out because
Mhm.
of being that they were going to be taken out. So they,
I gotta let me help Juju out here. So unless, hun, you've actually, touched his body, did his autopsy, I really wouldn't say that. See, that's the whole point of cognitive thinking, cognitive dissonance, rather. The whole world said, or the television said, or the mainstream media said, this is how it is, and we all go, oh, okay. They said it, so it must be true, and that's the problem. Because, and I'm not saying it's true or not true. You have
hmm
to question everything that comes out of the mouths of anybody.
well,
MSNBC,
and
Fox News, all of it.
Elvis had a twin brother that nobody knew about.
Yeah, and again, I'm not saying it is or it isn't. I'm just saying that it's
Mm-mm.
very possible that there are people who we think are gone. Uh, she says she's personally acquainted with him. Well, again,
Well, she was
I don't
fortunate.
know. You are
She was
fortunate, yeah.
blessed.
There are people. A lot of people feel that JFK Jr. is not gone. A lot of people feel Diana is not gone. Um,
Well, I
it's
can tell you, Kate is Kate Middleton. She's bye bye.
yeah. If they're going to put somebody in that kind of witness protection, if you know them, you're not going to know.
Right.
So you especially if you know them, because you put them at risk and you put what they know at risk. So
And
again,
they,
it's not a debate on whether they are or aren't. That's not what's important. What's important is these things have been going on for so long, and uh, cloning and doppelgangers and people that play actors, holograms. I mean, Michael Jackson and Led Zeppelin have been able to put on concerts and they're not even alive. Nobody questions that. You know, it's holograms.
yeah, it's pretty wild, isn't it? Yeah.
I know,
You
Gigi. I've
know,
heard people say that, and I've heard people say that, and that would be a very, very mean thing. She wasn't really.
I have thought the same thing, Gigi.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. That would be really hard because you see Angelita going through all that pain. Yeah, Witzek. Yeah, yeah. Hopefully, the people who they're being protected from are gone. If that were the case, and they can come back, that would be really awesome. Another one was the actor with the curly hair that fell off the bridge allegedly.
Isaac Cappy, yeah,
Isaac
Isaac
Happy.
Cappy.
Oh, that was
That's where the handkerchief thing comes in too.
yeah. So nobody's ever really explained what. So it's a code. The handkerchief's a
Yeah,
code. Hot dog, I
yeah,
get. You know,
yeah.
peace, I get.
Well,
But
yeah, they had a big hot dog party at the White House.
what was like 65 grand worth, right?
Yeah, hot dog pizza, something.
P.S. Most of this information came from uh Wikipedia was it? WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks email. And if you haven't watched the movie about Julian Assange or WikiLeaks, please do. Let me see if I can find the name of it. Um, totally worth watching because that'll give you an idea of where this information came from. It's not like it just came off the top of people's heads. You know what I mean?
Well, and then you start digging. Um,
Mhm.
but you got to know. I mean, it takes a while to get there, and they've scrubbed a lot. So
Oh, Google, forget it. I don't use Google for most of the.
no,
I use
no.
Brave and stuff, and even then,
Yeah, well, let me tell you, I had a lot of this back when all the questions and the Q was on there. I had saved all that in my phone.
yeah.
And I got up one morning, gone. The government had went in my phone and wiped it out. Seriously. She's so cute when she freezes up.
Boy, they really just wipe stuff off of the internet. It's so annoying. Uh, Sound of Freedom?
Yeah, that was okay.
That's not it though.
No. There's controversy over the guy in it too, so you can link controversy with everybody in every arena there is too. I like Liz though. She's got some good information.
Liz Crokin? Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I
And
mean,
I mean she's been at this a long time.
yeah, and
Way before it started coming out.
she's gone through a
Hmm.
lot of hell too for
Oh
bringing out
yes,
that
she
stuff.
has. Yes.
Well, it's been scrubbed, so I'm gonna have to go and search it now. And so tiring. And this is why Musk wants to make his own search and all that. I
Hmm.
say get rid of all of it. Why should we have an alternative? Just get rid of it. Why should it be a default in our phones that we pay for? If they don't want to put all the information on there,
That's
kick
why
into
I
the
was
church.
saying that Starlink's gonna Starlink's gonna be the coupon.
Yes, yes. I noticed that these $2, $3 million huge RVs that they have out there now that they're building, Starlink is in all of them. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I just that blew my mind that they acknowledge
Yeah.
Starlink. And Starlink's the one that's taken over the EBS. You knew that, right?
Right.
They're the ones
Hmm.
running it. I guess they had to override FEMA's version. Isn't it FEMA that runs or ran?
FEMA sits. They don't run anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And they don't have any money, so they're we're we're just watching a little movie right now play out because I think we're just running into parallels right now. I know it sounds crazy, but we're
Well,
getting there though. We're gonna get there.
I think the big ones are gone. I think the big dogs have been dealt with. So it's just kind of cleaning house, you know?
Yeah, I think there's one that hadn't been dealt with, and I think that's the one that's gonna shock. I mean, it's gonna shock a lot of people.
Check this out. Read what they wrote. And titanium, you're absolutely right. I will find out what that Julian Assange movie is. The Fachimas on Google, and now I guess Brave have gotten rid of it. But I did watch it, and it was a really good movie.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it will. You need to anytime you get a hold of information now, I know.
Hmm.
Put it on a one of those little whatever
USBs.
those little things. Yes,
Yeah.
those and save it because
Hmm.
they kept telling me to do that and I thought, why? Well
Hmm.
then now I know because I had so much information.
Emails. I have emails gone.
Hmm. They
Yeah.
went in and scrubbed it out of my phone.
Hmm. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, I believe it. And this has not only happened to us. There was I think it was 2021 where they had scrubbed the YT from many, many content creators that were on here giving out the truth, and they were purged. They all went to Rumble, but still,
yeah.
they got screwed out of a lot
Yeah,
of
they just woke
money.
up and their account was obliterated, like whitewashed,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
bleached, as the heel says.
yeah. Um, the Lord's return. So I'm glad you bring that up, Kim. There are some things that have to happen before Jesus comes back. It's not like the enemy gets to have their way for as long as they have, and then that's it. It's over. We go. We
No,
inhabit. We inhabit the earth. We have
that's
dominate.
right.
We dominate the earth. Okay, that's what God gave it to us. It's
And
not
we're
the enemy that gets to do that, and we haven't
hmm
gone through the apocalypse or any of that as of yet. So there's a lot of prophetic prophecies that haven't happened in the Word. So there are still things that have to happen first. At this stage of the game, the enemy's being taken out. Why? Because the church was asleep for a long time, playing church, making it into a social gathering, whatever you want to call it. And there had to be a remnant that was called in to fight in the courts of
yes,
heaven and in the spirit to take what we're talking about right now down. So I'm
yeah,
glad
we're
you're,
gonna defeat the beast. We're defeating the beast.
yeah.
We're fighting
So
the beast system right now.
right. Well, we're not even God's fighting it. We just took it to Him and said, "Lord, Your Word says,"
Hmm.
and that gives Him the. It's like a spiritual legal right to move forward, Lord of Hosts, with His armies and destroy, and that's what's happening. Uh,
Well, I think that a lot of people are not um, aware of how the justice system works in the heavens. I mean, it's like a court system as well.
Yeah. Yes.
You go before the court system,
Yes.
uh, the courts of heaven, and you say, "Look, I'm not happy with this, and we're ready to, for this fight to be over,
Hmm.
and we need you to battle it, and let's win, and let's move forward." You know,
Well,
you
it's when you go before the Lord in the courts of heaven, you're doing exactly what Jesus did when he was on the mountain talking to Satan.
hmm
He didn't talk to Satan and argue with him or call him names. He said, "It is written. It is written." Because the word is the sword. Now we have the sword and we have the most powerful name and we have the authority that he's given to us. But we haven't been taught in the modern church on how to use that. And
that's
so
right.
that's why these things have crept into our education, our entertainment, our music, our economy, our government, our law, our judicial. I mean, you just go down the lines, our medicine, they're in everything.
Yep, he has infiltrated every aspect of our life,
Our
of this
food, our
world,
water, our air, our
our
weather. I mean,
history, everything.
yeah, everything.
History, everything's a lie.
But
It's
we've
sad.
defeated it. We're just in the midst now of watching it being taken down. There will be a time prophetically, it's been said, where it's going to go, it's going to it's going to be shut down before our eyes. That's scriptural. If you read Psalm 91, it says that we're basically standing in the protection of the Lord while he deals with our enemies. He's done that many times, you know. Now the armies on the earth, which God has control of as well, that's going to handle these people, whether it be the military, the FBI, the Department of Justice, whoever it is that gets sent out, God is behind them too. He uses them too, you know. So let me give you the word of the day and the word that's regarding this, and then I'm going to put Rumble back up again to prepare you guys on where to meet us and to see us next week. We'll be in both places. If we could get both working, we will definitely be
Yeah,
doing that. But Isaiah 3:1, woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hand shall be given him.
Susan, you're right.
Jeremiah 16:18, and first I will recompense their iniquity and their sin double, because they have defiled my land, they have filled my inheritance with the carcasses of their detestable and abominable things. So, um, yes, and what Susan Lee is saying here is very true.
Yes, it is true.
Mhm. And it's unfortunate because JP was uh
And he is.
he was warned many times. Daystar. So Daystar Alley is God cleaning house. He's got to clean his house first. Remember that. He has not even dealt with the wicked yet. Frightening, isn't it? Because if you see what he's been doing to his own house, and that's scriptural, imagine what he's going to do to the wicked. They should be afraid, be very, very afraid. Um, they are, yes, the NWO is destroyed. It's gone. Uh, Hollyweird, they call it the Seven Mountains, and I can't remember what all seven mountains are. I think it's entertainment, education, economy, government, law, healthcare. I'm always missing one. I can't remember the other one. But this is where the enemy has had control to
Over
where
everything.
of everything, to where if you started off at the bottom of the mountain and your heart was good, it wasn't sold off to the enemy, and you just wanted to work your way up to the top. And then when you got to the top, for you to be able to even make it to the top, you had to give your life up or a soul, something you don't even own to begin with, to the enemy. Well, those people that have been standing on the top, God's kicking them off of the mountain now. Just kicking them right off of the mountain. So we're in a good place. We've already are victorious. We just need to see it. manifest here on earth, and that's what we're about to see. And this is why, while this censorship crapola is still going on, Blackguard, Vanguard, and State Street are also going down. Yes, yes, Chrissy. They're the ones who've been financing all this. Uh,
Well, and they own, I mean, they own part of everything possible.
oh
So,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, they're gonna, we've got so many CEOs, and I mean, the list is long of people. When you start seeing all these people stepping down, especially right after the P. Diddy arrest, that tells you a lot. Because that's not just, his arrest is not just for that industry. It's if it affects your clothing. I mean, because I mean every aspect of
Hmm.
whatever it's connected to. And
Jewelry. Don't even get us into diamonds.
oh
Right?
no, 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 no.
And that's
Now a
another.
lady, yeah, that's a whole, that's a definitely a rumble
Mm,
subject because people probably have no clue.
mm,
But there was a lady that just asked about Daystar. Um, she
hmm.
said, "Is this where we talked about Daystar last week?" Yes, we did bring it up,
Did we?
and it's yeah, because I actually brought it up. But
Okay.
we'll discuss
Yeah.
that. It's an ongoing
Hmm.
crisis. It's just tit for tat, and more's coming out. We'll just have to see.
Yeah. 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 And
Hmm.
and it's time to share it. 6 months ago wasn't the right time. 2 months ago wasn't the right time. Right now, even right after the election, it wasn't the right time. But now is the right time, because that's what the Lord said. I said, Lord, what do you want me to talk about? I don't even know what to bring up. This is like 2 days ago, and all of this came up and just showed up. And that's how He will show me this needs to be brought up. And I said, really? Sometimes I don't want to seem like, a tinfoil hat wearing
Well,
maniac.
it's not just that, but when it's like I was talking to you about the witchcraft part of things because God brought that to me. I mean, several months ago, and then all of a sudden, I'm in a panel live
Mm,
talking, and they were talking, and I brought up the fact that that's a lot of this is what we're seeing, and all of a sudden, the next day, there's a whole group of people talking about it on there, and so now it needs to be talked about and
yeah.
explained so
Hmm.
people understand what it really is. There are no good pagan practices. None.
No. Witchcraft in every single form of what witchcraft is rebellion against the Lord. The end. That's it.
Period. Yep. Hmm.
Any kind of rebellion against the Lord God is not good. And he will do, I mean, listen, Leviticus, he says, suffer not a witch to live. So he's basically saying,
Well,
don't,
there's calls it out right there.
yeah, kill so, excuse me, for YouTube, you never know if they're like TikTok. So, if the Lord is saying that, don't allow a sorceress to live, who are we to question the Lord God? He's saying that because it's outright voodoo, same. It's all rebellion against the Lord. They've had their way for a long time. Why? Why have they had their way for a long time? Because the church was not standing up and going, no. Our Father
Well,
God,
half the people in the church were doing it.
yeah, if we would have stood up as a church and said, our God rules and reigns over heaven and earth and all of its contents and people, if we would have taken the authority that the word gives us, half of this stuff wouldn't even have made it as far as it did. Now we're here.
And it's
We're
time to rumble.
it's yeah, so we're gonna rumble on Rumble. Yeah, we're gonna go over all the codes and yeah, all the one eye and um we're gonna go over all of that. because to be honest with you, Tracy and I cannot, um, we can't guarantee how long we'll be able to give all this information out before
Yes, Debbie.
it comes out and
Absolutely.
it's, it's a done deal. And so we want to make sure that you guys are on the up and up with everything. Let me make sure that we have all scripture. I just want to make sure. And if there's anything you want to add, Tracy.
Well, I was hoping that when we do start coming out with all these the symbolisms and stuff, that we have possibly some material that you can put on the screen
Mm-hmm.
so that they can screenshot or whatever they want to do. So, because they're once they see it, they'll start seeing it everywhere. They'll recognize it,
Mm-hmm.
and because it's right there. It's in your face. You just don't know it until you see it.
Yeah. Gigi, very true. But the truth of the matter is, there is no conspiracy theory left. That is not truth now. I saw something on Facebook earlier that had said something along the lines of if you call somebody let me see if I can find that. It was really good, and I put it up on the magazine actually. So I thought it was a great. If you're still calling people conspiracy theorists as an insult, the whole world is currently laughing at you. You're the joke.
Yeah,
Beautifully
because
said.
everything that's been called a conspiracy theory over the last 20 years has now came forward and it's come out as the truth,
Hmm.
and it's steadily drizzling out. I mean, it's just popping off,
Hmm.
and the thing still yet to come out. It's so horrific that people need to know
Hmm.
so
It
that they're
is.
not totally shocked.
You also have to get angry. Time for the church to get righteous anger.
It's going to be people are going to get very angry and
Hmm.
sick, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when I first heard a lot of this stuff, I fell to my knees crying
Yes, I
to the Lord,
cried and cried.
repenting
Hmm.
that didn't know this was going on. And, uh, you know,
We couldn't have known. I mean, it was
right.
just hidden, so hidden.
Yeah. Not anymore. Not anymore.
No, and that's why it's called revelation.
Mm.
Time to reveal.
Hmm. Yes, ma'am. So, uh, so please join Rumble. You could see that CDEC Mag. I got that wrong this morning. 12. It would be at CDEC Mag 12. We will do everything we can to show up on both channels next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And when we do, we will basically say, okay, we're going to go over to Rumble. Please share if there's anybody out there that you want to hear about this. We're going to be we're going to try to be as soft as possible and try to ease the truth out. We're not going to throw it at you like a pie in your face. Um, so if there's anybody out there that wants to hear, and as Tracy said, we'll be playing some snippets and stuff that will you'll be able to screen record or maybe even get the link and watch it yourself and share it with some family and friends if you need to. Um,
And let them call you a conspiracy theorist.
yeah, because it's not anymore. It really,
Yeah.
really isn't. So uh,
Yeah, it's tough. I
yeah.
you my but at least my family's awake now. They pretty much know.
Yeah, most of mine too. Yeah, that's true. And I think a lot of people are. Um,
Yeah, like you said earlier, they're just scared to talk about it because they're scared people will say, "Where's your tinfoil hat?"
yeah,
Or
yeah.
either turn around and say, "She's crazy."
It happened on TikTok this morning, and we started like code talking, and we were amazed at the people in the chat that knew, just like you guys, on what we were talking about, had an inkling. So Tracy's right. There are a lot of people that know, they're just afraid to talk about it, or don't know who really knows.
Well, they're ready for the truth and they're ready for it to come out. We've been waiting so long. We're ready for us to have our earth back for our freedom
Yes,
and it to
right.
be the world that we're supposed to have, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what it's going to be once we get this thing over with. It's going to be it may take a little bit, but we're going to have a beautiful world.
You remember the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. That's also something that has not happened yet. And that's
Yeah,
what we
that's right.
are living through right now. And it's the love of money that's the root of all kinds of evil, not money. Money is just a thing. If you love it and if you step on people, hurt people, try to, harm people to get to it and make that your main focus, yeah, that's where you worship mammon. You cannot worship mammon and God. But when you
Right.
seek ye first the kingdom of God, these things will be added to you. It would be nice to see all the people who have been living under bridges and living in shelters and living in their cars to have a life too. And they should.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a humanitarian effort.
Hmm.
Once all this is over and the good and the freedom and the free things that we should have not been paying for all this time, these people over in these third world countries, there's no reason for that to be.
Right on.
None.
That's right.
Because there's plenty,
Yeah.
but it's been taken.
Hmm.
And, that should be, it's just, that's another subject. But
And the
yeah,
incredible
it
resources.
infuriates me. It infuriates me.
Yeah, the incredible sources out of places like Colombia and places like Africa.
Yes.
Oh, what they
Yeah.
have.
And then, yeah. And they live like in the mud huts and then they're digging up diamonds
Yeah, yeah. Oh, please
or
let's not get
making
into
diamonds.
the diamonds. We'll get into that on another day.
Mm,
But their time is over. Our time is now, and so let's prepare ourselves for it. There's going to be a lot of stuff. Um, okay, I came into this chat late. May I ask who is Tracy Davis and what conversation started? What the conversation? Well, Tracy is a sister in Christ. She's also a sister patriot. She is a co-host here on Axiom, and we too are going to work together on bringing the truth to the forefront. I could tell you right now that this is something that Mica would want. I think she was seeking truth, and in the midst of doing that, lost her life in doing so. So, for her sake and for the sake of many people who've been victimized by all of this, we're going to help lay out the foundation for the truth that's coming right now. It could be tomorrow. What's good about this is what we've just talked to you about. If it shows up tomorrow morning, at least you'll go, oh, that's what they were talking about. you won't
yeah, if
you won't be
if
lost.
your phone goes off with a warning and a
Yeah,
big blurb, it might be that EBS
right on.
announcement.
You know now. So anyway, we'll see you next Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Look for us here. If we're going to be anywhere else, including Rumble and only at Rumble, we will let you know ahead of time. But most likely we'll be in both places. Please invite your friends and family. And until we see you next Wednesday, stay safe and God bless.
Goodbye. Yeah, have a good night.
Bye. Take care,
Thank
everybody.
you. Thank you, Anne.
Take care, hon.
Okay.